Hello, I'm Harry Forbes from ARC Advisory Group. I'm here today with Roland Weiss of ABB and Ester Guidi of Red Hat. Both from Europe, thank you for coming to ARC today.
Pleasure. Great for having us.
Your two companies have been working together for a while. I'd like to ask each of you kind of what you see as the demands today in edge computing and industrial IoT that the two companies are able to meet.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I can maybe start, okay? So when you look at edge computing, I mean, it's still an extension of the automation system, and the automation system demands a reliability, safety. That's paramount. But building on top, we see two very strong things coming to us right now from our customers. One thing is that there is a demographic change that we have been talking about in this circle a lot, but it's happening now. We see this in our teams, our R&D teams. People that build the current automation systems are retiring, going into their well-deserved retirement, and we see the same also on our customer side. Experienced control engineers, senior plant operators are retiring. And we are looking for solutions for that. On our side, we are rejuvenating the team, bringing new competencies. So that's happening on our side. But our customers are really looking for capturing some of the know-how that has been built over a lifetime of an operator, or an engineer. And we are providing some solutions in that area. I give one example. An application that we are currently piloting with first customers and that we want to release this year is called internally Augmented Operator. And what it's all about, it's trying to capture know-how. So if there are special events happening in a site that we have seen in the past, one thing that we have investigated thoroughly are foaming events in the chemical industry. And we can now kind of snapshot time series that where this event is happening. With that, we are able to do two things. A, we are able to predict and tell customers and operators early enough, this event is upcoming, please do some corrective actions. And B, we also give the operators then information what to do in this kind of situation, what was working in the past to mitigate the situation. So this is something that we are putting together, and we are bringing there also ML, AI, using all these technologies.
Okay, and Esther, how does the partnership between ABB and Red Hat contribute to these kind of solutions?
So from Red Hat, we provide the platform underneath those applications and those development by ABB. And edge computing has been an important contributor to Red Hat products strategy in the recent years. And we collaborate with different partners besides ABB in the industrial automation, but also like, automotive and telecommunication. And more, we can also bring our expertise on more IT conventional segments, vertical, like, for example, banking and finance. But when it comes to about edge computing, it's all about where the processing of the data needs to happen. And that needs to happen close to where the data are. So close to the source. This means to factory floors and plants. And this creates a completely different kind of requirement, because all of a sudden we need to be able to run our software in any environment. And Red Hat Open Hybrid Cloud is the winning answer to that, because we are able to run our software on-prem, on the edge, and on the cloud. On the cloud, the response time of those process of the data would be too slow in order to guarantee the low latency and all the real-time decisions that industrial control system needs to have a speed accuracy that they require.
Okay. Well, your two companies have been working together for several years now, almost 3 years. It was announced, 2022, that you were having a very engaged partnership. So, Roland, maybe you could tell us something about the work together and the journey that you've had from the ABB perspective.
Yeah, the journey, absolutely. I mean, Esther was explaining that the edge infrastructure that Red Hat is bringing is really pretty flexible in deployment. It's running from limited devices to cloud deployments. And we have an edge solution called Genius that allows really safe and secure data extraction from control systems and from the devices there. So we released the first version 2020, and we were sitting on tech stack that was not coming from Red Hat. And we had initial installations, and we were facing some stability and also scalability issues. And we were looking then for options for a more stable infrastructure layer. And we looked at different companies that were providing this kind of infrastructure. And Red Hat was one of those options we looked at. We did some prototyping in 2021, and we put our engineering teams together. And within 3 months, we got pretty nice output. I remember I was in India calling in over dinner when they presented the results. It was really great. And I think beyond the technology, it was really the attitude that we liked with Red Hat and with the teams, the passion that they brought to that.
What is your perspective on this, Esther? Because you were also involved at that.
Yeah, and our partnership has been then announced after those positive results in July 2022. And I mean, it's almost 3 years. It has been an amazing journey. It's continuing. And as Roland said, our development and engineering team are going end to end. What is very important to say is that we integrate into each other's strategy. So we listen each other, we listen to the market requirements, and then we go ahead step by step. We have everything perfect? No. But we are adjusting on the journey. And I think what is very important, there are a lot of talks about IoT convergence, is that everyone knows our own place, who we are and who we are not, and where to ask help each other, right? And this, I think, is very important. So I think we complement each other in a great way. ABB brings their expertise, extensive expertise in the industries, and Red Hat is a leader on the IT open source. And
okay, you mentioned open source, and I think that's a point we should discuss, maybe starting with Roland, but automation companies are not known for embracing open source technology. So kind of could you explain your views on that, and maybe Esther afterward? But Red Hat is more known for working with open source than automation companies.
Yes, first major open source company, we were more than 1 billion revenue there. So anyhow, as you say, automation companies and even large corporates are struggling a bit, or have been struggling with embracing open source. Still, there is a lot of innovation power in open source. The communities are huge. Linux is, I think, the prime example where this was really coming from. And if I look at what happened in ABB over the last 15 years, we had a pretty defensive approach in the beginning, right? Whitelisting the open source licenses that are working for us, where we kind of integrated components with. Over time, then also identifying projects where we were contributing. Maybe one prominent example is the OPC stack from the OPC Foundation. But within the last 3 years, we have now changed also our global ABB open source policy. So we are now encouraging contribution in open source projects. And this, I think, we're working with Red Hat really helped, because they have the expertise how to contribute in these projects, how to engage with the communities, which is really a vital part of embracing open source. So for us, that's really for us the future, because for us, automation systems are to be open, standard-based systems in the future. And I think that fits very well with the open source philosophy.
Well, thank you. What is your perspective with Red Hat being the kind of the guru, if you will? That's what I would take from Roland's answer, that you have kind of been their guide into this world. How do you see your side of the partnership and open source?
yeah, I think, I mean, Red Hat has understood more than 30 years ago that open source was what enabled speed and innovation, right? So we kind of the market leader there, and we know our way. But how is Red Hat contributing also with respect to ABB, right? There is a huge community out there, a lot of brilliant minds contributing. And so Red Hat is funneling all this creative energy into products that can be reused by enterprises. What does this mean? We make products reliable, scalable. For example, we make them compliant to industrial standards. And we offer also the long time support that is required to be covered into these industrial control systems. So for certain products, for example, we offer 10 plus years of life cycle. And those are all important contribution.
Well, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing how this partnership goes forward. And obviously, you're both both of your companies are very committed to it. And we look forward to it being a fruitful partnership and hearing more as you go forward. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is Harry Forbes from ARC Advisory Group. My guests have been Roland Weiss of ABB and Ester Guidi of Red Hat. Thank you for watching.